Adonai mi amoy Ki mechas licha leman tivorei Visi Adonai kivso nafshi v'lidvoroi cholti Shil Adonai mishomrim laboiker shomerim laboiker El Yisrael al Adonai Kim Adonai chesed v'arbei moi fedos Hu yiftes Yisrael mikol avoinoi sov Shiramaloi sesoina yele hori meheyayin yovo yezri Zri mimadoino yoise shomayim voret Al yitein lamoit raglecho al yonum shoy merecho Eilonum v'lo yishon shomer Yisrael Adonai shomerecha Adonai tzilcha yad yaminecha Bam hashemesh lo yakeko v'yareach ba'alo ilo Adonai yishmorcho mikol ra yishmor es nafshecha Adonai yishmor tzischo v'yecha meyato v'yad olam
Okay, Rabbi Isaiah, Rabbi First is going to be the first speaker this morning, followed by Rabbi David, followed by where are you? Okay. Menachem. Yeah, Menachem. Yeah. Followed by Menachem. Then followed by Moshe. Okay? You ready? I'm going to begin with Rabbi First.
Eish Yisrael miyimtzo Rochak mipnimim micho Potach b'olei b'ayl v'shol echso Lasa tov le'ro kol yimei chayel Doshe tzemer fishtim Tas v'chefetz kapel Oysa kani yeseicha v'mechek tovi lachmo Tokum b'od lailo atitin dev leveisa v'choik l'nar eser Zoma sodot kechel Pi kapel notokorem Chag boys masna Tametz roisa Tomo kito sachra Dichel laila nero Yedel shichel bakisha Kapel tomchu polech Kapa posel oni Yedel shichel evyoin Leisil patla beisa Misholeg Kakol beisa lovashonim Badem osala Shesh v'agom levusha Noida b'ashorim bad v'shifta Im zikni yoretz Sodom osu atimko echkar Nosla Knani. Oiz v'had l'vusha Atisik l'yoyim achroin. Pia pas v'chachma So es chesa al l'shayna. Tzafir lichas beisa Lechem atzel l'seichel Komo b'ner v'ashvua Ba'ila v'yahallah. Rabbi izbonis osechoyel V'at alis al kolano. Sheka achein V'eva yoifi Isha yus Hashem Hitasalo. Tula priyadel Al Mishor Maseh. We're all coming today to give Kavachan Nechama Gittel Bas Shmuel Leib. Nechama is known to many of us. Dr. B'mitzvahs. A real Yiddish mama who brought up her children V'derech HaTorah, V'derech HaYira. She has 5 children, and she was taken the prime of her life. Nechama was a tiny neshama. She was Ezek Kenegdai to her dear husband David. Kivrei Ve'em, that she showed to her parents, was Murdik. She tried to bring her home to be a Turdika home. Bigdusha B'tara. Torah Kedusha says in this week's Parsha, there was disagreement between Avraham Avinu and Sarah Imeinu. Should they send away Yishmael or not? Sarah Imeinu wanted Yishmael to be thrown out of the house. Yishmael is being mashpia on Yitzchak Avinu. We can't keep him at home. But Avraham Avinu was chayshish that if we send Yishmael away from home, Chas v'shalom, Yishmael will be Chas v'shalom Yotzi Tab Yisrael completely. That's the way we learn Parshat the Chumash. However, some Sefer writes there was a lot deeper machlekes. It was the ideological machlekes between Avraham Avinu and Sarah Imeinu. Avraham Avinu tained that let's keep Yishmael at home. Yitzchak Avinu will have an Nisayon. Yitzchak will be a bigger Yitzchak at the end of the day. He'll be miskabe against Yishmael. And he'll be able to stand up against the bad influence of Yishmael. Just like Avram, I fought against the whole world. And I became Avraham Avinu. However, Sarah Imeinu, says the Sam Sefer, tained to mechanech a child, you need a place full of mokum, kedusha v'tara. If you want to bring up a child the way it should be a Torah child, he has to be a place full of kedusha and tara, without any ashpah, any ber ashpah. And that you are Avraham Avinu taina, that you grew up in a world full of avodah zarah. You had no choice. Oh, but now it's based on Avraham. You have a choice. You have a choice to bring up a child with kedusha v'tara. Says some Sefer, that was the machlokes between Avraham Avinu and Sarah Imeinu. And the Baruch Shem Paskin Machriya, Shema B'Koila. The chinuch of Sarah Imeinu, that's the proper chinuch. That's how we have to bring up a child in this world. And that's the only time of Avraham Avinu. But to all generations, from the time of Avraham Avinu, including today, if you want to bring a proper chinuch of our children, of kedusha and tara, without all foreign influences, That's the way you have to mechanech our generation and the next generation. This was Nechama. Nechama that I knew for many years. She only cared about the chinuch of her children and they should grow to be Erech Yidden. I'm sure that all the 5 children will continue to live a life that the mother wanted. She should be Nechama for dear husband David, her 5 children, and their wonderful parents. B'elam Ois Nefzach, Mocha Shandim Ma'al Kopanim.
I'd like to begin by thanking everybody here for coming. Certainly never anticipated this day, although stage 4 cancer diagnosis was not a good one. I still tried to impart to my Eshes Chayil that Hashem is in control. It really doesn't matter what the number is. It doesn't matter if it's 1 or 2. Actually, it started out as 2 back in 2015. And it worked its vicious way up the ladder to 2 years ago. And it festered and festered to become stage 4. And I didn't. I had to be, as first mentioned to me, I was mechuyev to be mechazek my kala. That was my job. My only job was to take care of her. Quite possibly, I would go so far as to say that was the reason that I was created, and for nothing else. So I apologize to Nechama that I was less than I should have been. Had I done more, had I been better, had I been more mechazik, we all wouldn't be here today. I apologize also. I was unable to draft this speech, this miserable speech, on my telltale note cards, which get published to each of our sons now for their bar mitzvahs. That's it's okay. Listen, Gavi, it's funny. Gavi had 57 cards. I didn't even have enough index cards. So, Erev Shabbos, I said, let's, Gavi, 57A. To the Rav's chagrin. And I still apologize to the Rav. I ran out of time. to that Shabbos morning. Baruch Hashem, I hutching learned from my mistakes, and Rami Bachar Bar Mitzvah, he only had be'erech 37 cards. And the Nechama said, forget about it. Forget about it. We're running out of time. Just put something nice and small together. I was already almost halfway done by that time. Anyway, so the Rav came to the house yesterday and sat with myself, the boys, Nina, our daughter, and related, modus operandi from here on out at this time. So he said that we're not to make any brachos, and we found ourselves each of us found ourselves grabbing at brachos when we wanted to eat something or go to the bathroom. Again, Asher the Asher Yatzar should still be in play, whether Nechama is with us anymore or not. Rav Druck, thanks to the Atkins in Eretz Yisrael, gave his directive that everyone should concentrate on the words and not just say by rote, Asher Yatzar, as they're coming out from the bathroom. And I think it would be an Aliyas Neshama for Nechama forevermore if everyone could just take the words of Rav Druck Shlita to heart and continue on in that derech. So again, we didn't say brachos this morning, we didn't say brachos last night, but this morning I still got up, and I got up at a new starting time. Every day in the hospital for the past week, I can tell you that Nechama started writhing in pain to the extent that she said, David, there is a dagger in my right hip. And 2 hours later, by telling me the pain unabated, that her leg was on fire. And the back. Obviously, laying over a week in a hospital bed is not going to be advantageous to anybody. But in her case, with so many other things going on within her, a mamish cancer that ravaged her every which way, from here to kingdom to, you can imagine, every organ of her body was infected, if not infested, by breast cancer. Rahman al-Islam. So she said that 2 days ago, the pain in the nape of her back had now traveled up to her neck, the back of her neck. So this morning, I caught myself saying Modani as normal, as we usually do. Modani lefanecha. I didn't finish, so I'll finish for the Olam. Modani lefanecha melechai v'koyim, shechazarto b'nishmasi b'chem l'rabo emunasecha. And then from the English, I thank you, O King, who lives for always, and who, as I awaken, has in mercy returned my soul to me. we can ever only trust in you. To that end, I wish to call upon the Borei Olam and request publicly a heartfelt request that he not only give me and my family the strength to geh weiter, the Torah, the Yira, to be mechazek us, but that he give everyone that same strength. That Nechama's petira, chas v'sholom, should not be in vain. That there something good can come out of 7 years of utter suffering. Worrying, constant worrying, going to chemo, and getting to University of Chicago, the whole trip the day before, going for blood work so that her labs were ready when we arrived morning of, and worrying if the labs were okay, could I get chemo? Someone actually wanted chemo to live. She said, I want to live. I hate chemo, but I want to live. And chemo's side effects were moiridic, really. You don't really realize that something that's giving life is actually taking it at the same time. It's making you miserable. It's making you feel as if you've lost all your strength and you don't want to even go on anymore. You don't know how you're going to go on anymore. And Nechama, Chasdei Hashem, came to the realization that the only way to go on, the only way to durchgehen, would be through the help of the Borei Olam. It's a Musar Haskel that none of us should have to endure ever. But I would say that Nechama took for the team. Obviously change. It requires change to have kavanah during Asher Yatzar and not run through an Asher Yatzar and brachos, and just be thankful for every day that the Eibusher gives us. Ba'olam Hazeh, that would be a very good thing. We would be appreciative that we could derive that from this tragedy. And change is not, I'm not speaking about Obama change, which is shtus, garbage. It's all fluff, it's all smoke and mirrors. We mean real emistic change. Husband to wife. To be, as the Rav would mention it, minimum twice a year. And then Shabbos drasha, be a better husband, be a better wife, be a better, we can always be better. We can always look for that new thing that's required of us, that our Nezer Kenegdo, or our mothers and fathers, children to parents, brothers to sisters, weiter down the line in just terms of public interaction, social interaction, I should say. So again, so I said Moda Anila this morning at a new start time. 4:30 is the time when Nechama's pain would start every morning. Anyone who knows me knows that I'm not Mom is not a morning guy, but for sure not a 4:30 in the morning guy. But this morning, I think Nechama gave me a Charlie horse leg, and Eib Zachuch, David. Eib Zachuch. Let's go. That's what she was telling me. So that gave me time to compose these notes, not a speech in its entirety, and I apologize. But I think another thing that we can take from Nechama is that just a staunch belief in the Eibishter, that he is the only one in his mercy who will ever, in any situation, be it financial or medical or whatever, we all have our peckle in life, our burden to bear, so to speak. But that he's the only one who can help us, and that's really the lesson to be learned. We can't rely on another to help us out, although we are grateful for them helping us out, and we appreciate it, and they are l'maisa, they're shluchim from the Eibishter, really. Anyone who helps us out they're really, helping because the Eibishter directed them to help us. So Nechama, this week in her bed, writhing in pain, said to me, "David, help me." She screamed, "David, help me." The nurses and staff, who are great, just great, at University of Chicago, caring beyond belief and empathetic to no end. They sought whatever way they could to make her comfortable, to take away her pain. When we first entered the hospital after being discharged from the ED and going up to 10, shortly thereafter, a day after, a group of doctors entered the room. We were surrounding her at bedside, 3 on each side, and nurses. And I'm at the foot of the bed. And they say to me, "This is what's going on with your wife. She's in and out of, I won't say consciousness, but she's in a sleep mode, she's on pain meds." And they say to me, and they're all staring at me for direction. And they say, "What? Your wife has," they're basically saying, "Your wife has stage 4 cancer. What do you expect us to do for her? We can comfort her, but eventually if her liver, which was working at 10% of normal function at best, and eventually her kidneys, which were a byproduct of a malfunctioning liver, were beginning to shut down. What do you want us to do for her?" And I stared at each of them, and I told them, "This is my wife. I brought her here not to remind us of her diagnosis, but to help her. And that's what I expect you to do. I expect you to help her to the best of your abilities." They got the message, loud and clear. But ultimately, the Boirei decides, sadly, this end. this unexpected, never in a million years end. Wherein I'll have to learn to do the things that she did. Cover the things that she covered, the many things that she covered for the Silver boys, our precious Silver boys. And Nina, our precious Nina. Never thought that I'd forevermore be in charge of any of the things that she took care of. Took upon herself, even while in a state of utter pain. And laying there in bed that morning, I'm sorry if I divert the message, but laying there in that bed one morning, asking me to help her. First asking the nurses, get me out of here. She said, Mommy, she had her feet ready to get out that bed, to get out. She was, I won't say strapped down, but she was kept in place. So she clenched her fist together, otazoi. She gave up on me, and she said, Hashem, please help me, crying. That was a Musar Haskell in and of itself. Unforgettable moment in time. We had many, in these episodes that have many bad moments. And then again, going to get chemo done, and her, a little girl, always a little girl. I married her at 97 pounds. She became a silver at $1.25 in the end. Still slim. And they would always say, Mrs. Silver, your veins are so tiny. We're so tiny, we can't even hardly get a needle in, and then they go wiggling around with a needle and just make the whole situation even worse. There were perhaps 3 or 4 nurses in oncology who could get her right away, and we were thankful for them. We'd actually request them at check-in. And if they were available, they'd definitely love to come and help her. And we were appreciative of them. So, if I might end by asking Hashem to give us strength, to give Mommy and Daddy, Wolf, strength. They don't deserve anything less. My father-in-law was my shadchan. He handed the baton off to my brother Yossi Brandman, and "28 years ago, 28 years later, I should say, my kala is being granted direct access to the Kisei HaKavod, according to the Medrash, and and getting a big hug from the Eibishter 24/7 for all that she endured ba'olam hazeh. All things that none of us should ever have to experience. Chas v'sholom. I'd like to ask mechila from her, because I wasn't the best. I could have been. I could have done more. I could have aggravated her less. But I'm annoying. What can I say? Anyone who knows me knows I'm annoying. And I ask for the oilam for myself or my family, that she should be a good gebeter, a meinik yoisha, Bilam Avetz Lanetzach, Ana Hashem Dima, Mi'al Kol Ponim.
I know I'm short. Nechama. You're always there for us, though. You're unbelievable. Always. I never thought I'd be standing up here today to talk to you about such a young and energetic person, the sweetest, nicest anyone could ever know, with so many people who love her. Everyone who knows me, I don't get up to speak ever. But if I'm ever forced, I just get up and I make stupid jokes. Everyone tells me to sit down. And Nechama just says, Nachi, you're nuts, and starts laughing. Can't do that now. Can't make any jokes now. I don't have any jokes. I don't know if I'll ever be able to make jokes like that again. I'm gonna miss all the times we spent together. We have such a close family. We are so close. There's not a lot of us, but we are so tight, all of us. Chama and Tammy and myself, we're still very close. All the times we spent together, whether it was Shabbos, Yom Tov, of course, Great America, just to name a few things, or just randomly coming over any time of the day and even late at night. Because the Silvers were the only people in the family that were up when I was. I could call them at 2 o'clock in the morning. I was like, yeah, call me anytime, show up, whatever. And, you know, I could show up in any hour of the night. The Silver house is going strong. Everyone else in the family is sleeping for hours. some family members very early. You know who you are. I guess I could make a joke. My kids, my wonderful kids, were so close to you, Nechama. They don't know how to get through this. The kids cried themselves to bed last night. I didn't know what to do with myself. Couldn't help them. I just let them cry. I try my best. Yaakov mentioned that it's going to be hard in general with everything, but especially during the Seder when we tried to go through it and say, Vaya, no. I don't know what to do. Because no. You went through so much pain and suffering. You were so young, but you suffered for a lifetime. You were so strong. You kept fighting. You stayed strong. Even till the end, you were so strong. Stronger than all of us. We're in the hospital room with you. You stopped everyone. You said, "Why is everyone crying?" You're the one suffering, and you're asking us why we should cry. You said it with a straight face, with the sweetness. If you guys are going to cry, then you can't come visit me. She wanted us always to be happy, and we thank HaKadosh Baruch Hu for giving us the chance to visit her at the hospital. Even when you were so sick, you still took great care of your family. And your amazing voice always kicked in to help. Yunt at Bubby and Zadie's house was always amazing. It was an amazing time to hang out. We were there for hours and hours. Sometimes stayed the whole day, all the way till the next meal. The Silvers being the last ones there, always wanting to help. Didn't make a difference if it was the Seder and it was 2 o'clock in the morning. The Silvers were there, and Nechama in the kitchen cleaning, the boys sweeping, David making sure everything was put together. We always had a good time. We had fun. While we were enjoying David's amazing smiles, as always, and amazing Zemiros. Nechama used Sundays for shopping and running errands. But even when she was exhausted and weak, she ended the day with Great America for the boys. Didn't make a difference how late it was, they still showed up. Even when the people at the gate would say, "We don't let people in at this hour," they still showed up. Somehow they got in. I guess it was David's smile. They couldn't say no. Before she got sick, and even till the end, she had amazing baked goods to enjoy. When we went over Shabbos afternoon visit, I would always raid the kitchen to say, "Nechama, what did you make this week?" And she goes, "Well, Nachi, I have this and that and this and that and also this and also that." So, okay, there's enough choices here. Her nieces and nephews would come to her work. She would run to her special drawer of stickers and give them tons and tons and tons, just to make them happy. Over 2 years ago, my amazing wife started a Tehillim WhatsApp group. Right when she got sick, within a short time, It was full, and she had to start another one. Hundreds and hundreds of people joined and said to him 24/7, 24/7, for the entire time. Even at the end, the last day, there was over 300 participants. Thank you to all those who did it. David has been a rock, standing next to you through the ups and downs, the entire time. He took such great care of you. Your 5 boys are so great and amazing. They're like brothers to me. The kindest boys around. You did a great job. I always told you 5 amazing boys. 5 amazing boys. You just know that Daddy really wanted to get up here and say something. It's way too hard for him. Way too hard for him. Nechama doesn't want us to fall apart. She will want us to be happy and continue to make her proud. There were so many people besides just the family. So many people who told us, who stopped us on the street, who texted us and said they took so many things upon themselves, they improved themselves, they did so many things that they didn't think they could do just for a zechus of Nechama. Nechama, you changed the world. You single-handedly changed the world. Changed the world. You got people to do so many things. So many things. People should continue doing those things for zechus of Nechama's neshama. She's such a holy person. Such a good person. I want to ask Mechila, for the entire family, if we didn't help you enough, didn't give you proper respect, didn't respond when we were supposed to, or as everyone knows me, ignore a text for days before I finally respond. Nechama, I know it was so hard for you, and Avrami, your mother, wasn't here for the bar mitzvah. She was in the building. But she was there for your real bar mitzvah, your bo bayom. That's the most important thing, because your bar mitzvah is just a party. Not that you didn't work hard, you did. Worked very hard. But it's just a party. And the bo bayom, she was there. And that's the most important thing. And you're able to do it in the sukkah. For anybody who didn't see Nechama, the day of the bar mitzvah, she looked amazing because I saw her. I was with her for a long time. Her dress was beautiful. Her makeup was amazing. Her sheitel looked amazing. And her nails. She did her nails. She comes home from the hospital in the middle of the day Friday and somehow was able to get everything together with no strength. Her sheitel, her makeup, her nails. I can't even get time to take a shower on a Friday afternoon. But yet she was able to pull herself together. She looked amazing. She looked amazing till the end. She still had some of her makeup on. Her nails looked great. She looked as beautiful as ever. I want to ask you for Mechila because I promised you that if you get a little bit more strength, we would make another bar mitzvah for you. We would have a party just with the family and pictures and music, and you would get dressed in that beautiful dress that you feel that you didn't get to use. And we would make a party. And I told you I would do it. I promised you I would do it. And I thought your reaction would be, no way, Nachi, go away. Your reaction was, okay, it sounds amazing. Let's do it. Unfortunately, Hashem had a different plan. Didn't give us the opportunity. But I know she's celebrating the party with Hashem and the rest of the family that's up there. They greeted her with open arms, with love and care, because all her suffering, she's in a great place, even if it's hard for us. And please mochel me for never taking you on a trip that we talked about together to Florida. Just wasn't meant to be all this, so no. I don't understand it, but we have to accept it, because this is Kadosh Baruch Hu's plan, and this is what he wants for us. I love you. I miss you tons. I was happy, even though it was difficult, that I was with you to the last second. Please be a Melech Yosher for David, Moshe, Nina, Dani, Sruli, Gavi, Avrami, Mommy, Daddy, Tammy, me, and the entire family. Help us. Give us the strength, because I don't think we really have it to get through this horrific, terrible, miserable loss.
I am speaking for myself and on behalf of my four brothers, Dani, Suli, Gavi, and Avrami. I look at myself and at my brothers, all of us so young in age. I would never have believed that I'd be standing here today to be maspid, to speak about our mother. Hashem nosan, Hashem lokach. Hashem gives, and Hashem takes. HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave us a wonderful mother. Now Hashem said it is time for him to take her back. I will take the next couple of minutes to try and give a glimpse about how special our mother was. I will focus on my mother's strength and perseverance in life. Some of the greatest testaments of this were in these challenging last couple of years of her sickness. But really, this was who she was her entire life. Two years ago, when Mommy's cancer viciously returned, we thought that there was very little time left in Mommy's life. Mommy had a strong desire to live and fight through. Even though the outlook was bleak, she was determined. Throughout the entire process, through the painful treatments, through the endless trips to different doctors and hospitals, through the grim realities of the situation, she kept pushing through. We often found ourselves wondering in disbelief, thinking amongst one another, what is keeping our mother going? We asked, how is she still pushing so hard? Pushing herself to the absolute limits. We came to the conclusion that there is only one answer. Our mother pushed herself because she was committed unconditionally to her pride and joy in life. What was our mother's pride and joy? It was her family. She loved her children dearly, and this was evident in everything that she did. From the time all of us were born until the end of her life, she pushed herself to see that her motherly duties were done and that they were done well. When she was in the hospital, at times almost not able to speak, she would push herself to make sure someone was taking care of the family. She wanted to know what was going on at the house. Does everyone have something to eat? Does everyone have everything they need? Mommy was always committed, unconditionally, without interruption, to being mommy. It did not matter how sick or tired she was. As a child, it is difficult to appreciate always having a hot meal of homemade fresh food. When you become an adult and have to make your own food, you realize that after a long day, making dinner is no easy task. For our mother, one of her strongest ways of expressing her love for us was cooking and baking for the family. She took great pride in it. Her attention to detail was next to none. It takes time, patience, and strength to cook homemade meals every day for the family, but our mother was relentless. Even in the late and harder stages of her sickness, she would still do this. She would stand on her feet for hours, Thursday night and Friday, making fresh homemade food for Shabbos. Just a couple weeks ago, on Shabbos Sukkot, she prepared everyone's favorite foods because this is what she loved to do. She loved to take care of the family. She loved to make the family happy. Our mother knew the importance of family time. In addition to the time spent together on Shabbos, she always insisted that every Sunday the family would do an activity together. She knew that it was important to stop and take a break from our busy lives and focus on spending good, fun, and healthy time together. Each week, we knew that Sunday was going to be a family day, and we all looked forward to this throughout the week. This was very important to her because she loved seeing the family smiling and enjoying its time together. On a personal note, when I told my mother that I was going to get married, it was going to bring a big change to the family dynamic. My mother was always way outnumbered by 5 boys and my father. She never had a daughter until that time. Having her first daughter-in-law, my wife, Nina, was for my mother a tremendous source of happiness, one that continued to get stronger as the years went on. She would always tell me, even in her final days, how special my wife was. And she was grateful that she experienced having a daughter-in-law as amazing as Nina. Our mother's belief in her children was unshakable. She was our biggest, unwavering fan at all times. Our mother's belief in us, her unwavering support of us, cultivated a feeling of belief within each and every one of us. I believe that this is the best thing you can do for anyone. Believe in them. I know with absolute confidence that this belief that my mother had in all her children was and continues to be a tremendous source of inspiration and motivation to this day for myself and my siblings. I have to, and I must express from myself, my brothers, and my entire family a tremendous and a heartfelt thank you to the entire community. When my mother got sick, and throughout the entire duration of her sickness, there was enormous amounts of tefillah, tehillim, and other acts of kindness that were taken on by many people in our community and throughout the world. We want to thank our devoted community and close friends for all that they have done and will continue to do on behalf of the family. Mommy, as my final words, I publicly ask for mechila from you, for myself, for Abba, my wife, and all my brothers. Please, Mommy, bring your parents, Bobby and Zadie, a special level of comfort. Thank you, Mommy, for the great gift of belief that you instilled in all of us. Thank you for believing in us. We will carry that belief for the rest of our lives, and it will give us all strength. Please, Mommy, continue to watch over all of us, strengthen us, just as you always have. We love you, Mommy. Bila Mavas Onetzach Umacha Hashem Dima Mel Kol Panim.
I think more than 40 years ago, was a funeral in Muncie of a young woman who died and left over a number of Yesomim. Rabbi Yaakov Kamenetsky Zecher Tzaddik Levrocha spoke. He began his hesped by saying that this hesped is an Esoyin and Emunah. It's a test. It's a test in Emunah. Here we are, Nechama Gittel, Pastor Shmuel Leib, 48 years old. Her husband, her parents, her 5 boys, her daughter-in-law, her siblings. 2 weeks ago we had a bar mitzvah in Shul, unlike any bar mitzvah there ever was, at least for the last 35 years that I've been in Yeshurun. It was a test. It was an Esoyin and Emunah. A person's life is connected to the times, to the Parsha, to Yontif. Right now, we are in the middle of 3 Parshas, dealing with Avram, Avinu, and Sari Meinu. Lech lecha v'yerech ha'yisor. Avram Avinu was given 3 brachas. For him, for his wife, children, Ashirus, and a name. Ashirus only came about by going down to Mitzrayim with a very difficult Nisayan of Paro and Sarah. His shame he acquired after going through Mulchama, which Avram Avinu, the great Baal Chesed, had to kill people. Then he was nominated as the king of the world. Nasi Elokim. Children, Hagar, Yishmael, and then finally this week's Parsha, Sarah and Avram have a child, Yitzchak. At the end of the Parsha is an Esayin of all Nisyonis, which is the Akedah. There wasn't a moment in Avram Avinu and Sari Meinu's life. There's a sefer called Kilas Yitzchak, a Talmud of the Beis Halevi and the Malbim, who wants to know what was going on in the beginning of Chayei Sarah, the third parsha of Avram and Sarah. We all know the story, Rashi quotes it. The Satan came in, told Sarah a lie, scared her. Means she had a heart attack. Whatever happened, she died. What was the purpose in that Nisayan? And he is Masber, he explains that there's a concept called Tayal Rishaynos, the Gemara in Kedushin, that sometimes a person can have charata on the mitzvahs that they did. I did this mitzvah and that's what HaKadosh Baruch Hu gives me. I did this mitzvah and I have all this aggravation after doing this mitzvah. That's an Nisayan in this Hesed. Last night I walked into the Silver's home, and the front room, which is always packed, was empty, except for 10 chairs for Shiva. 10 chairs for the 10 Avelim were going to be sitting Shiva. And as was mentioned, I told the Kala, the one daughter-in-law, that she's also an Avelis, even though she's not going to be sitting in a chair. I asked David, what's the first thing that comes to mind when you think about your wife? So he told me her emunah. Her emunah. I think it was 3 days ago, and I think it was Moshe Chaim here in Shul. I said, no, what's the matziv? As we checked in several times a day. I think it was Moshe. He gave me a very unusual answer. He said there are two worlds. There's the world of reality, the world of the doctors, the world of the hospital, and then there's another world. That's the world of my father. That's the world that's not reality. That's the world of Amunah B'tochen. It seems like the Shadchan knew what he was doing. In Ve'agefen, Vin Ve'agefen. Tu Bali Amuna. Why the family has such a Nisayan, no one knows. But it's a Nisayan. It's a Nisayan. I told the boys last night that a person here in this room once told me that after his mother died, she got him. He wasn't so good about coming to davening every day. As a matter of fact, he wasn't good at all about coming to davening every day. He says, my mother got me. I have to come to daven 3 times a day now. And I got to be there at the end of the minyan, and I got to be at the beginning of the minyan. She got me. And I think that besides always being concerned about her sons, as was said so beautifully, and now they have this incredible mitzvah of kibbut aimed to come to daven 3 times a day and say Kaddish. But there's something else that this family has, which is what we've been talking about, Maminim b'nei Maminim. This whole Levaya, from beginning to end, by all the Maspidim, is just one test of Amunah. Your mother, your wife, your daughter, your sister, your sister-in-law taught us incredible Amunah. And besides all the other things that have been done, that have been mentioned, that haven't been mentioned, the schus, the greatest schus, is that her family is going to demonstrate that they are going to remain maminim. And Rabbi Say, this is not only for the family, this is for the city. We've gone through a lot over the last number of months in many different areas. And sometimes people can say, it's very hard to believe. It's hard. Rabbi Yaakov said that, it's hard. It's an nisayon. That's what all of the nisayonos of Avraham Avinu added up to. The common denominator was, I'm going to create a situation in which you're going to grow together with your wife in Emunah. And the last nisayon was Avraham Avinu came home. Avraham Avinu came home, and after going through the incredible nisayon of the Akedah and wanting to share it with his wife, found out that his wife had died because of the Akedah. Some Rishonim say that was the 10th test. The Akedah was the 9th test. This was the 10th test. So that's where we are today. The family is going to leave. Whoever else is going to accompany them, not just outside down Tui, but the family is going to go to the Beis Olam. There's going to be a burial. And then there's going to be a Kaddish. And that Kaddish is the Kaddish about Emunah, which we believe, even though we don't understand it, we believe we're all going to be reunited. We're all going to see Bias HaMashiach. We're all going to see Binyan Beis HaMikdash. There are so many people here this morning. Question was yesterday, maybe we should have made Levi at 4 o'clock yesterday afternoon. It's brought down, it's a schus to be buried in the same day. But then the question was, who would be able to come? There are probably so many more people here this morning. What a testimony to how many people are here. If I was a gutsy person, I would sing Anu Maminim B'nei Maminim. But that's who we are, without the song. We all know that. And that's what this Levaya is. That we are Maminim, B'nei Maminim. We're taking the lead from Nechama. That's who she was. That's what she personified. Together with her husband. And that's what she taught her 5 sons. The reasons that her meals were so good is because they were full of love, as was just said. I would dare to add, they were also full of Emunah. And those 2 ingredients beat any ingredient that you can find in any store anywhere in the world. Ava and Emunah. That's what makes us who we are. As everybody said so eloquently, Chama's parents, her husband, her siblings, her children, should be zeicher to take her Emunah, impart it on the next generation, until you reach the time of Bila Hamavas LaNetzach, U'mach Hashem Dima Me'al Kol Panim. Yeah,
Please rise. Lama v'rachamim, shoychein b'amroimim, hamisei menucha nechonan al kanfei ashlina, v'malos kedoshim v'torim k'zoraki amazirim, es nishmas Nechama Gittel bas Shmuelei, b'sholcha liyolama, b'avor shanu mispalim bad askaras nishmasa, v'ganein tehei menuchasa, Lachein bal rachamim yastira v'seiser k'nafav v'yogomim v'yitzor achayim es nishmasa Adonai unachol asa V'sanuach b'shalom al mishkava, v'noimar amen.